What is up? It's your boy Diesel time, and I'm back with another comic book movie spoiler review. This time we're talking about the Suicide Squad. Haha! This time it's their new release, Hell to Pay, baby. And we're also sprinkling in some genius theories just in case DC is still looking for some in-house writers because Superman knows they need it. Now let's get into it. Alright, now first things first, I want to give props to the writers of this film for making the Suicide Squad work on a grand scale, because I will admit I am guilty of this. I know a lot of you are guilty of this. After seeing the Suicide Squad DCEU, DCFU, whatever the FU it's called, universe movie, we all felt like, nah, you gotta scale it down. A lot of fans of the Suicide Squad Assault on Arkham film were like, yo, you gotta tighten this up. You know, something like a raid style movie where they gotta get in and get out. Which brings us to genius theory number one. Let's break it down. So, imagine if the Suicide Squad movie set up a relationship between Joker and Harley Quinn. Wait, they did do that. And imagine if Batman were to get just Harley Quinn and the Joker were to escape. Wait, they did do that. And what if a Suicide Squad was assembled to rescue Amanda Waller from the top of a tower, and they, had to fight their way to the top of the tower to... Wait, they did do that. But what if instead of making the third act about them fighting some 5,000-year-old zombie stripper and her, giant brother with no speaking lines? I mean, come on, anyways, imagine if instead it was the Joker who had kidnapped Amanda Waller as revenge for taking in Harley Quinn. He's getting back at Argus, and he has a death trap for the Suicide Squad, and they have to outsmart and outfight and, out-villain the Joker in order to save Amanda Waller. And it's this whole thing of, Harley oh man, he went through all this trouble to rescue me and I still love him, but at the same time I'm on this team, and man, that's good writing. So a lot of us thought, you can't do all this mythical stuff, but this movie proves us wrong with the card that gets you out of hell. And why not throw in a ton of villains all going after this card because they all got dirt that they want to erase from their past when they go through the gates to either heaven or hell. So let's get into the movie. So you essentially have three teams of villains all going after the card. You got the Suicide Squad made up of Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, Bronze Tiger, Copperhead, and Killer Frost. Then you've got Zoom, who's teamed up with Silver Banshee, and Blockbuster, who's like a concrete man who can't get shot, but I guess he can get knocked out. Anyways, then you got the big bad who cannot die, the 50,000-year-old caveman Vandal Savage with his daughter Scandal Savage and her girlfriend Knockout. And he, is not immortal. He can be killed. He just won't die unless he is brutally killed. So Vandal Savage, he wants the card just in case he ever dies. Then Zoom was shot in the head in an altered timeline, and I guess he sucked in the speed force to slow down time within his, I don't know, somehow he's still alive after being shot in the head, and so he wants the card because his time is running out. And Amanda Waller has cancer, and she's terminally ill, and so she wants the card and wants the Suicide Squad to go get it for her. So everyone, all these villains are all racing to get the card. Plus, rewind, you also got the introduction scene with Vertigo leading an alternate Suicide Squad with Punch and Judy on the team, and they're trying to break onto the train of Tobias Whale, who is the villain from the Black Lightning series. So they're just throwing all these villains in the mix, and even though they get murked, you get to see them, you get to be in their presence, you get to enjoy just the fact that they're there. And then later on we bring in Professor Pig, who's operating on Two-Face, and then Professor Pig is made to put the Get Out of Hell free card into Vandal Savage's chest. Ew. Anyways, point being, if you add it all up, there's 18 villains in this movie, and none of them are being used in the rest of the DC animated movie universe's movies. You know, they're all free agents, so they can do whatever they want with these 18 villains without stepping on their own toes in the main canon of the, you know, the Batman, the Superman, the Justice League, the Wonder Woman, all that stuff. And the one hero that you have thrown in, the one guy who makes it all possible, is the most obscure hero that there is in the DC universe. It's Dr. Fate, and he's inhabiting the body of a male stripper. I mean, this Magic Mike douchebag, it's so out of character for a DC hero, and yet it works perfectly for this villain inhabited movie. And he's only there for a little bit, so he's a little annoying, but you kind of get to laugh at how stupid this guy who had the chance to be Dr. Fate is. And then, just like that, we're back to being filled with villains. So why is there this get out of hell for free card? Because Dr. Fate, don't worry about it. So you can have the whole mystic element without having the 5,000-year-old zombie stripper. You just gotta explain it real quick and then just get back to the execution. Have the villains being villainous. They're all greedy. They all want the card because they all have a shady past. And why wouldn't you want the card? Come on, everyone wants that card. So I'm not gonna break down every single plot detail. We're not gonna spoil it too much. I just want to applaud the storytelling of DC and Warner Brothers on this release and the way they executed the grand scale storytelling. And now, let's break down a theory of mine. So, we know that Zoom was shot in the head and that he used the Speed Force to make some time for himself. But what Zoom is this, and what is the whole canon? What is going on? So, Zoom was shot in the Flashpoint movie release, the animated movie, by the Thomas Wayne Batman, who was created in an alternate timeline when the Flash, Barry Allen, ran back in time and changed time to save his mother. But the Batman in that movie, and thus that universe, is voiced by Kevin Conroy. So let's just call it the Kevin Conroy Batman universe. That is where these movies, or that original, when Zoom was shot in the head, that's when that takes place. Now, here we are in this movie, and he mentions an alternate timeline. But is he mentioning the alternate timeline where there's a Thomas Wayne Batman? Or is he mentioning an alternate timeline where Kevin Conroy is Batman, and that has an alternate timeline where the Kevin Conroy Batman's dad, Thomas Wayne, is Batman? Are you hanging? I mean, it gets real deep. Okay, I hope you're following me, because I'm kind of a little lost myself. Now, I want to believe that Hell to Pay exists in the DC movie, animated, whatever it's called, but there's some problems with that, because when Zoom was shot in the head, the original Earth 1 timeline has a Justice League that is already formed and that already has the Cyborg character in his cyborg, half-man, half-robot form. So, if we go back to the DC animated movie universe, we know that the Justice League was not assembled, or formed rather, until Darkseid invaded with his mother boxes with all the parademons, and that one of the mother boxes turned Cyborg into Cyborg. So, I'm not really sure how the timelines add up, if there was a Justice League that was like erased by Flash, and that when he went back from the timeline of Flashpoint back to the present, that he somehow created this new 52 universe. I guess that's what happened in that's what happened in the comics. So that's what happened in their animated universe. I just figured it out. Duh. Anyways, that's our answer. The Flash went back at the end of Flashpoint and created the DC animated movie universe. It's the only thing that makes sense. And poor Kevin Conroy was turned into Jason O'Mara. Ding, ding, ding. All right, I'm a genius. DC, you should hire me. I figured out your puzzle, and I don't even know what to tell you. You gotta hire me. Anyways, I've been Diesel Time. If you want to check out more of my videos, you should check them all out. You should subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter at RasqacheArt, or on the Instagrams at dr.rasqacho. Check out Chronic Illness. Check out Kalaca. I got all the cartoons because I'm a funny, weird dude. And I'm gonna check y'all later. Peace.